Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Lush Gardener. In this video, I'm going to show you how to separate double head from a succulent. Now, a little bit of disclaimer: if you are from a place wherein your succulents go dormant, especially Echeveria during winters, please do not do the cutting. If you are from a very extreme climate, be it summer or winter, please do not do this cutting. If you're not very confident, just do not cut it, just leave it as it is. Now, the reason why I'm doing cutting is I do not like double head on a succulent. I prefer it to be a single rosette. Apart from that, I also want to multiply a lot of my succulents, hence I'm going ahead and cutting. Now it's going to be a little difficult to cut this type of succulent because ideally the stem of these succulents are infused together. Earlier, the succulent had only one rosette, but probably there was some modification that happened in the stem, due to which there was another pup that came up. Usually, Echeverias do not put a pup on near the crown area. They usually put it at the base or in between of the leaves, but not very close to the crown area. At times there are exceptions like this one. Now it's little difficult for me to locate the stem. I happen to break one of the leaf, but that's absolutely fine. What's important is to locate where the stem is. So I was able to find a very small little stem. So I will quickly reach in and cut it off. Now when I'm going to be cutting, there is going to be a very less amount of stem on the cut part. We will figure out how to increase the stem mass. So one of the head has been separated. Now it's time for the next one. Now unfortunately, every time I try to take out the leaves, it was very difficult to pluck out the leaves because this plant was very infused. Both the heads were very infused and it was very difficult. There was no evident stem, so it becomes even more difficult to separate. But in this entire process, you might happen to break some leaves, which is absolutely okay. So what I'm going to do is I will find the second stem as well and try to separate it. Again, in between of this, I might happen to break some of the leaves incorrectly. That is absolutely okay. I will again try to reach in between and try to cut it off. It might be a little difficult. It might happen to cut the lower leaves, which is absolutely okay. We can't do much about it because the stem is not evident. So as you can see, I have separated the both of the pups from the crown area, and there are some dry leaves. It is going to look slightly bad right now, but it's absolutely okay. As in when there is going to be new growth, it will look much better. If you want, you can take out all of the lower leaves, but I'm not doing that right now because I do not have much soil for leaf propagation. So I'm going to leave all the rest of them as it is. And now when I said the stem is not much visible, so in order for us to get a little bit of the stem area, we can take out a lot of those lower leaves. These leaves are something that we are again going to be using for our leaf propagation. So I think we are pretty much have a good mass, the stem mass, because this is where the aerial roots are going to come up when we are going to keep it for air rooting. So that's going to work out. So this is our first pup that we have separated, or the first head that we have separated, and this is the second one. Again, I'm going to go with the same process. I will try to take out as many low leaves as possible so that we have a good mass on the stem, which can encourage the aerial roots or the air roots when we keep it for air rooting. So I think this should be good enough. I'll take out another one. As you can see, it's very difficult on Echeverias. At times the leaves tend to break half, but as long as we can get the stem area, that's more than enough. Now you'll also notice the amount of farina on my finger, even though I have been very careful. So this is how the farina tends to look like. You can see all that powder on my finger. Now I was trying to be as careful as I could. That's why I was not holding the succulent from above. I tried to hold it from below, and you can see all the farina has disturbed. It's absolutely okay because those are lower leaves and the farina is on the underside of the leaves. So it's absolutely okay as long as the farina on the front or the upper portion doesn't get disturbed. It's absolutely okay. Very soon they will put out aerial roots. So all I'm going to do is keep it aside in a place where it is dry and they do not come in contact with any moisture. Now this remaining portion, very soon it will start putting out pups. I will put the image of a succulent earlier which was eaten by the caterpillar and the crown area was completely destroyed. It is going to be the same process, the same way the pups are going to show up on the crown area. So we can just leave it as it is. If you want, you can put some dry cinnamon powder. Even if you do not put dry cinnamon powder, it's absolutely fine. But you have to be careful that this part does not come in contact with any water or any moisture. Both the pups and this portion that is left in the pot has to be kept dried. It is going to take around 2 to 3 days, or depending upon your environment, for it to callus. Once the callus period is done, the wounds are healed, then if you want, you can go ahead and water in the soil. But for the pups, we will not water until the roots appear. Once the roots appear, we will put it into the soil, wait for at least 4 to 5 days, and then go ahead and water. So that's all about it, guys. It's a very simple process, but as I said, only if you are confident, go ahead and do it. After cutting it off, that's where you have to be extremely careful. Cutting is very easy, but the aftercare is little risky, so you have to ensure that they do not come in contact with any moisture or water. That's all about it. I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.